It's the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Welcome to another episode. As you know, each and every year, we try to keep our listeners informed on the world of change in regards to college football. Today would be no exception to the rule. We are happy to introduce and present to others the new head official of SWAC officials, Mr. Eddie Kelly. How you doing today, sir?
Doing great, Mr. Brent. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for making yourself available. And before we get any further, how about giving us a little background and explanation of how you ended up at the Southwestern Athletic Conference?
Well, great. I'm a longtime SWAC guy, and I started out doing chains for SWAC football here in the Houston area, and later became a part of the officiating crew and started as a line judge and lineman and moved up to be a referee. And I was on the field for the last 11 years, and now I'm, I guess, trying to teach guys to be better than I was. Just very honored to have this position and that the commissioner thought that much of me and to do this job, and I'm out to do the best job that I possibly can.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And as always, we look for the opportunity to excel. And I hope you take this opportunity, as they say, hit the ground running toward the goal of success.
Thank you, sir. Most definitely.
Yes, sir. Now, unbeknown to many, sometimes officials can get a bad rep when people don't necessarily understand the rules of engagement, if you allow me to put it that way. I've always been one from a competitive nature. If I have to resort to a bad call by an official, whether it was football, basketball, baseball, or tiddlywinks, then really I'm putting myself in a bad position, because if I'm going to rely on an official's call to make or break my decision, I didn't put myself in the best opportunity during the course of that event.
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, to the regular viewer, sometimes we can call some things that, and when you're rooting for your team, you're going, hey, that's a bad call. But if my guys or any official, number one, if he's doing the mechanics correctly, which means if he's in the right position, then basically it's his judgment sometimes. Some things are just straightforward. You jumped outside and touched somebody, or on offense you move before the ball moves. Everyone should know those. But when it comes to some of the judgment calls, that can, be on a viewer to say, that official is not doing his job, when actually he is. So there are some calls when it comes down to your judgment. But as supervisors, we want guys to be in the right position so that he can make the right call. So if he's in the right position, he's got a chance of having the right judgment.
Yes, sir. We're talking right now with head official of Southwestern Athletic Conference, Mr. Eddie Kelly. And something that I always found ironic, and I've watched it for years, more or less with football and some cases basketball, but more or less with football, when a game is over with, usually the officials, they kind of trot to the locker room because of A, the distance, and B, they're ready to get out of there. But a lot of people say, look, they made bad calls. Now they're trying to get out of here before they get jumped on.
you know, that's one of those things that I guess that's the way the fans see it. But especially in college, because I also called high school football for years, and I would refuse to run off a field in high school. Because in college, you had to run off. That's what you're told to do, So it's not a thing that we're so anxious to get off the field that we have to run. It's just if you're told to get off the field, because really our jurisdiction as officials and controlling the whole stadium goes away as soon as the game ends. So the officers or whoever the security personnel is wants us off the field so that their job is easy. So it's not a case, and I guarantee you, we love to shake hands and fool around with some of them, because some of them like to strike. Sometimes you're right, you're wrong, you're right, you're wrong. Somebody's happy and somebody's sad. So they don't want those sad people to do anything that they shouldn't do.
Very understandable. You got to protect the house, brother. You got to protect the house.
Yeah. You know, as an official, that's something I've never really thought about. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, part of our job is we kind of be the voice of the people and let it be known. I have the answer sometime, but I never want to appear like a know-it-all. That's why we ask you guys, the experts, on whatever the issue may be. We're talking again with Eddie Kelly, head official of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Now to the matter at hand, Mr. Kelly, there are always some tweaks and redefining of the rules as regards to football. And I guess now would be a great time to kind of go into what are some of the expected rule changes and the possible impacts on the game.
That's great, Mr. Prince, because there are, and your timing is just fantastic because these things were just approved last week. So, you got very good timing, so I hope you can continue that.
Well, the old Avis commercial, we try hard because we have to.
And, well, one that you may see very quickly in a game is on the kickoff. In the past, it's been illegal to have three people to be within a foot or two each other. We call it a wedge. And they changed the writing this year to make it illegal for two people to be within, two or more. So three would still be illegal, but now two is illegal. And basically it's all for the safety rules. We don't want guys flying down the field. And if two guys are going to block one, you can have a big collision. And also on the other side, you'll have that one guy saying that he's going to give himself up and blow up this wedge so that his teammates can make the tackle. So basically they want one-on-one blocks, And that's one of the big deals for this year. So instead of just having three people on a wedge, you could have two.
Well, that could create, I guess, less excitement on kick returns now, huh?
Well, it could. It's just like last year we brought in the fair catch, and things like that. Where now teams that has a very good returner, they're going to run that thing, because they know they got to possibly go all the way. But teams that say that they don't have an exciting player back there to run back kick, they'll take the ball on the 25 and be happy with it, So it's six in one hand, half a dozen in another. But I think if you have an exciting kick returner or punt returner, you're going to see that guy try to do his best to go to the house with it.
Okay. Now, it seems to me from just outside looking in, many schools didn't take advantage of that fair catch rule last year. Maybe they were still getting accustomed to it.
You're right. Very few of them did. And I think, to me, especially from being on the field and getting the bird's eye view of it, it was those teams that were that way. If they thought they had a guy who could give them good field position and get it out to the 40 or midfield or go all the way, they kind of refused to do that fair catch. But then a couple of teams that say that they just got a receiver catching the ball or somebody like that, they were fair catching a lot, So I think that comes into play with the way your strategy goes as a coach. You're going to do what's most advantageous for your school.
Now, let me ask you this, and while I'm thinking about it, I know on a punt you can fair catch it and don't have to actually catch the ball, even attempt to touch the ball. Is that the same on a kickoff, or is it still going to be a live ball? You have to secure that ball.
Yeah, even if they fair catch it, they have to catch the rock. So say, for instance, the rule states that if I fair catch it on the 5-yard line, but I drop it, and then I recover it, I'm not going to get it at the 25. I'm going to get it at the 5.
Okay.
So, same thing on a punt. If I fair catch, basically you're just saying, hey, guys, I'm giving up. I'm going to catch the ball right here. We're going to take it right here. Don't hit me. Okay? So on a punt, same thing. If he drops it after he fair catches it, it's a live ball, And the kickoff is the same way. So he's got to be able to make the catch clean, and on the kickoff, he gets it at the 25. But on a punt, he's going to get it at that spot where he gets it.
Okay, sounds very good to me, sir. So we got the wedge rule. What else has been implied for this 2019 campaign?
I think the next big one is basically what they're calling a blindside block. And these are the blocks that you'll see on a kick return or interception or something, and almost the whole crowd goes, woo, because the guy gets blown up because he's looking at the runner, and a blocker is coming from the other way, and he never sees it. And basically what they're wanting is they want a guy to either shield block him or body block him, but not attack him. And we've all seen it back in the day. We used to, on a punt, we'd all roll to one side, and if you was looking at that punt returner while he's trying to get to that wall and not have your head on a swivel, you could get your head knocked off.
Boy, that's what I was just thinking. You got to keep your head on the swivel, but I guess that's part of the history of the game now.
It is. And again, it's a safety thing where we were getting guys, even though they were being hit legally, they were not being hit low, they were not being hit in the head, but they were getting blown up because you were attacking them in the rib cage area and the shoulder area, and man, helmets were going one way and people were going the other. And, as old football player, to me, that's football. We want to make sure the game is safe for all the kids from now on. So you can still make a very good block out of that if you go with open hands or a body shield, because basically you're just trying to block him. That's all they want.
I hear you, and I'm not here to fight with you, Brother Kelly. You're just a messenger. But I keep thinking about old Jack Lambert back in the 70s when they had changed some of the quarterbacking rules. And he said, you might well put a skirt on them and let it go. But I do understand safety is first. And if there's not a flag thrown, then it makes it kind of questionable. Guys have to adjust to the rules just like in life. But yeah. I'm just receiving and responding as it's coming out fresh to me off the press.
There you go. And I understand that. We're all going to adjust a little bit, but I guarantee you, when you hear the fans go, woo, you'll see a yellow. Hey, unfortunately, we're just doing our job.
Yes, sir. So that's that warning. That's that warning, guys. If you go ooh, you're gonna be an ah because a flag's gonna come right behind it.
There you go. And I guess the last one that will affect the game, or from the viewer's standpoint, is after a fourth overtime, and we hope not to get into those predicaments, but it could happen. We have some games that go pretty long. They're not going to get the ball at the 25. They're going to go straight to 2-point try. And basically what we're saying is we have the first overtime, we're still tied. Second overtime, we're still tied. Then after that is when you have to go for 2 in overtime. And we've had the third and the fourth, but we still have a tie. Going into the fifth overtime, now whoever goes first is just going to line up for one play, and it's going to be a 2-point try. If they make it, the next team gets the opportunity to do the same. And from then on, it'll only be that one play, 2-point try until we have a winner.
Okay, so the possibilities are still endless as far as overtime goes. You just have one play versus the 4 plays on the first 4 overtimes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very, very doable, and I can see that having a slight impact on the game, especially your televised games when you're trying to get out of there, because no one gets paid overtime with the extra games that are being played or the extra overtimes that are being played, because it's on a flat system, and they want to save as much TV time as they can, and I can understand them making that adjustment.
There you go. And I think those are the big ones that, the fans can see that they probably could freshen up on and be ready for the season.
I have one other question that I would like to ask you, and this was from a personal experience. And just for some clarity, because we're all about clarity here at the Open
Okay.
Mic Broadcast Network. I'm a PV graduate. There was a uniform issue last year in the discrepancies of the color contrasting with the numbers in the jersey. And there was some charcoal gray jerseys with the gray numbers or whatnot. And there was a controversial decision made. I guess I'll put it like that. What is that rule as far as uniforms and the visibilities from the official areas of the press box compared to that on the field?
Last year was the first year that they brought in the fact that all uniforms had to be approved by the NCAA governing body. And unfortunately, manufacturers are selling uniforms that don't abide by those rules. What we have to do is to just make sure that the uniforms are already fit in before you wear them in a game. And the rule states that you're charged a timeout at the beginning of each quarter, which means if you have three, you won't only be able to use one each half if you wear that uniform, and it's deemed as being illegal. And I think the game last year was Prairie View and Southern. That happened, and I think Prairie View wore the uniforms in the first half but changed in the second half.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Basically, as a administrator of your institution, if there's any question, because there are examples in our rule books that all officials and all coaches and administrators receive, you need to go to that rule book, and if you got any question about uniforms, you need to get those approved, and you won't have a problem. And normally there's that kind of numbering system where it's either very light, with the numbers are trimmed and dark and then light, and those are difficult to pick up on film and in the press box, because we got coaches that are in the press box that are calling plays and calling defenses and all of that, and to know what personnel is in the game at what time. If you can't tell that number, then that makes it very difficult to do your job.
Okay. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Being a member of the press is sometimes. But here's something that I've always found interesting, I should say, and I'm not picking on any school per se, but Southern University, they wear their white jerseys and they have a baby blue number.
I knew that was coming.
Right. I mean, and that is
right.
That is very. How is that one, quote unquote, deemed legal compared to others? And it's not a matter of picking on any university. I'm just asking for clarity for myself and here's one of the reasons why I ask you that. I'm legally blind. Okay. And when I'm sitting from a press box, I have different things to help me see. But I have problems seeing it with magnified zoom in ability numbers. And I just imagine, and I've spoken with people with correct vision. And my thing is, how do you determine what is and what's not?
And that's a great question, because that's why you go to the governing body. And, I know Southern has won those for years. And I guess I would like to say that they've had them approved. And that's something that I can check on now as being the supervisor, that, we can make sure that it is. And I'm quite sure it is, but it's just the governing body. And you go to the NCAA committee, which is made up of coaches and officials and administrators, and they make the rules. And that's what a lot of people think, that we as officials make the rules, and we really don't. We have positions on that board, but the majority of those people are coaches and athletic directors.
Okay.
And they make the majority of the rules. We just have to enforce them.
Well, I got to drop this side note in, because I have a lot of Southern University fans that listen to me. I don't want you all to send me a bunch of hate mail that I'm trying to cause havoc on your uniforms. I'm not the only one who has expressed that concern, if you would. And so there you have it, Southern. I still love you. But carry on, Brother Kelly.
That's the way to clean clean that up, Mr. Brent. Well done.
Yes, sir. We're talking with Mr. Eddie Kelly, head official of Southwestern Athletic Conference. So we want to welcome and thank you again for making yourself available. And just promise us this one thing, man, that you will not be a stranger with us here at the network and that you'll come back and visit with us sometime.
Most definitely. Just let me know when. I really enjoyed it. And, anytime we can be of help, just let me know.
Okay. Okay, and before we sign off for the day, so we're going to give you some final thoughts and comments.
Well, again, I just want to say that I am a SWAC person and, born and raised, really want to keep the tradition going and make it even better. We have a lot of officials that come through SWAC that are doing great things, and we want to continue that tradition.
Yes, sir. Well, we look forward to the growth with you. I would say welcome to the conference, but you're an old timer. But we'll say welcome to the position. How is that?
That'll be great. Thank you.
Yes, sir. He is Eddie Kelly, head official of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Remind you that you can follow us on our social media handles at Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at The Mike Prince Show. The YouTube channel is Open Mic Broadcast Network, and our website is obnradio.com. The dial-in number is 713-570-6736. I must exit for now, but until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.